Good morning, guys. So today we're going to be doing another check-in through following the link on Teams. Before we do that, though, I just wanted to go over some examples. And these questions that I go over today are going to be similar to the ones that you see in the check-in. So starting off first, just a quick review. Here are the two main equations that we're going to be using today. So we've seen these the last couple days. Circumference equals pi times diameter. And diameter equals circumference divided by pi. So first off, let's take a look at this one. So we're giving distance from the center to the outside. The radius is 3.1 centimeters. So what is the circumference of this circle? So if we were given the diameter, it would be really easy. We'd just plug that in, pi times diameter, and we would be able to get our answer in one go. But we haven't been given that, we've been given a radius. So the first thing we need to do is turn our radius into a diameter, and I'm sure we're getting really good at that. All we do is just times our radius by 2. So 3.1 times 2, I can do it in my head, but we can just be sure by using my calculator. 3.1 times 2 is 6.2 centimeters. So the diameter is 6.2 centimeters. Now that I have my diameter, again, my formula is here. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So to find the circumference, I do 3.14 times 6.2. And what I get is 6.2 times 3.14, 19.468, 19.4, I'll round the 6 up to 47 centimeters. Okay, so 19.47 centimeters around the outside. Okay, now second one down here. For this one, I'm given the circumference. So I'm given the distance around the outside, and I want to find out what the diameter is. I want to find out what this distance is across. Well, for that one, I can just use this equation here. So to find the diameter, I take the circumference and divide it by pi. So to find the diameter, all I do is take this number, 42.6, and divide it by 3.14. Showed you last day why this equation works, but now that I've showed you why it works, you can just use it. So 42.6 divided by 3.14, 42.6 divided by 3.14 equals, there we go, 13.5, and again, we'll round that 6 up to 7 meters. Okay, so it's 13.57 meters going across the circle. Okay, that's just a quick review. Hopefully that stuff is getting easy for us now. Couple of word problems that we're going to do. Okay, so here's the first one. A bike has a tire with diameter 0.5 meters. A stone is stuck in the tire. How many times will the stone hit the ground if the bike travels 100 meters? Okay, so let's think about what's going on here. We have a circle, a tire. Okay, we're told that the diameter of that circle, so the distance all the way across, is 0.5 meters. We're also told there's a stone stuck in the tire. Okay, and we want to know how many times this stone will hit the ground if the bike travels 100 meters. All right, well, this stone is going to hit the ground every time our tire travels the distance of the circumference. Every time our tire does one full turn, that stone is going to hit the ground. So we need to find out how often that stone is going to hit the ground. And what we do for that, we need to find out how often our tire makes a full turn. That full turn is this distance around the outside. That distance is our circumference. So again, we're going to find the circumference. So that formula that we have, circumference equals diameter times pi. So I have my diameter, 0.5 meters, and again times that by 3.14. Okay, so 0.5 times 3.14 is 1.57. 1.57 meters. So the circumference of my tire is 1.57 meters. So what that means, every 1.57 meters, my tire is going to do one full turn and that stone is going to hit the ground. So now I need to find out how many times does my tire make a full 1.57 meter turn in 100 meters. How many times is my tire going to turn in 100 meters? How many times is that stone going to hit the ground in 100 meters? So what I'm going to look for is how many times does 1.57 meters go into 100 meters? What am I doing there? I'm doing division. So I'm going to do 100 divided by 1.57. Okay, and what I'm doing for that, I'm looking at how many times my tire makes a full rotation of 1.57 meters in the 100 meters that it's traveling. Okay, that's why we're doing it this way. So let's see what happens. If I do 100 divided by 1.57, what it tells me is it makes 63.69 turns in 100 meters. So what that means, it makes 63 turns and almost makes a 64th turn, but not quite. So what that means, the stone is going to hit the ground 63 times, and it might almost hit a 64th time, but it's still only going to be 63 times. So that stone is going to hit the ground 63 times. My tire is going to make 63 full turns in that 100 meters. Okay, now one final question that we have here. A drinking glass has a circular base with a diameter of 30 centimeters. A coaster, which are those little things that sit underneath a glass to make it so that your glass doesn't damage a wood table, is made to extend beyond the base of the glass by 1 centimeter. What is the circumference of that coaster? All right, so for this one, I'm not making finding the circumference of the glass. I'm trying to find the circumference of the coaster that's underneath the glass. So for this one, we're told the drinking glass has a circular base with a diameter of 30 centimeters. All right, so the diameter of this one is 30 centimeters across. 30 centimeters. Okay, and a coaster is made to extend beyond the base of the glass by 1 centimeter. So what that means, we have a coaster that sits underneath our glass, and it sits underneath, again, the reason why we do this is so that a glass doesn't damage a wood table or leave glass rings underneath. All right, so what we have here, we have a coaster, and it extends 1 centimeter beyond. So it extends 1 centimeter here, but notice that it extends on both sides. So it also extends 1 centimeter here. Okay, so what is the diameter of that coaster going to be? Well, the diameter of that coaster is going to be this distance all the way across here. So the diameter of that coaster is going to be the 30 centimeters that we have here, plus the 1 centimeter that we have here, and the 1 centimeter that we have here. So my coaster is actually 30 plus 1 plus 1. It is 32 centimeters. So there we go. That's my coaster. Okay, so the question that I'm being asked is, what is the circumference of this coaster, this thing that sits underneath my glass? Well, that's easy now. Now that I have my diameter, all I'm going to do is just plug it into my equation. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So circumference equals 3.14 times 32 centimeters. 3.14 times 32, and there we go. My coaster has a circumference of 100.48 centimeters. Okay, this coaster, this thing that sits underneath my glass, it's 100.48 centimeters to go around the outside. Okay, so those are the problems that we're doing for today. Good luck on our checking, guys. And I guess this will be the last time that I talk to you before next week. So have a great weekend.